Hello and welcome back to my Pokemon Journeys review series. Today we are reviewing episode 30, The Reluctant Pikachu and the Exasperated Mr. Mime. I hope you enjoy. I was very interested in how this episode would play out. From the descriptions alone, it sounded like Pikachu was acting very out of character. This episode starts with Ash competing in a Pokemon World Championship match and using Riolu for the first time in the competition. They get a win and Ash's ranking grows up to 901. It seemed to grow a lot smaller this time around. Pikachu asks if he can battle next and Ash tells him no because Riolu is on a hot streak. This was slightly out of character for Ash, I guess. He would usually listen to his Pokemon. If they really wanted something, he would do everything in his power to make sure they are happy and that they get what they want, especially Pikachu. So it was different from Ash, and it continues that all the way through the episode. We see some more training from Riolu. This time he is training with Farfetch instead of Mr. Mime, which we all thought would happen. It seems he has replaced him as his new training partner. And now throughout this mini training montage, Pikachu is really distressed. He wants to get out there and battle and help train. But Ash keeps deciding to put Riolu up against other Pokemon rather than using Pikachu. So this is both out of character for Pikachu and Ash. Ash would usually check in on Pikachu in this situation, so I can kind of get where Pikachu is coming from. But also I've seen a few people reference that Ash is focused on training other certain Pokemon in the past more than Pikachu. The biggest example being Greninja. And Pikachu never got upset about that, so both ways it could be seen as out of character, but it didn't matter much for me because I thought this episode was fantastic. Delia shows up at the lab and spots straight away how Pikachu is not being given enough attention by Ash, and Pikachu decides to spend the night with her rather than going back to Ash's room. I actually really like this. We get some nice bonding between Pikachu and Delia, and when Delia went home, Pikachu ran after her because he wanted to stay with her. I had slight problems with this section of the episode because Ash didn't even wonder where Pikachu was all night, and even when saying bye to his mum, he didn't even acknowledge Pikachu. He just ran off again and went to train with Riolu, which again seemed out of character from him. We also got a really nice connection from this episode to the previous one, as Kaharu tells Delia how Yampa was jealous, which helps Delia spot Pikachu's feelings. We got a few flashbacks in this episode, ones we've already seen in the series. They were both of the first episode where Ash first met Pikachu, and then later on Pikachu remembers how Ash shielded it from the Spearow that were attacking, which was one of the factors in Pikachu coming back to its usual ways of loving Ash and remembering that Ash does care for him. But before this, Pikachu ran away from the lab with Mr. Mime chasing after him. The section of the episode was them heading back to Pallet Town so Pikachu could stay with Delia again. I did enjoy this part. It was a nice way of seeing exactly how Pikachu felt. The music in these parts were really sad. This overall was just a really sad episode. It made me feel sorry for Pikachu despite it acting slightly out of character. Pikachu and Mr. Mime get all the way to Pallet Town and Pikachu finally does realise that Ash cares and chooses to forgive Ash. But then Ash is there waiting for him in Pallet Town. I really love this moment to see Ash showing how much he cares and knowing exactly where Pikachu would be going. It just shows how close their bond is even more, and it was a great emotional moment. They reunite and stay the night at Pallet Town with Go. So technically Go has now seen all of Ash's trophies and therefore must know that he is the Alola champion, right? So overall this episode was great. It was a really sad one and we haven't had that in a while, so it was a nice change for this anime so far. Despite both Ash and Pikachu acting really out of character at times, I still really loved the episode and enjoyed it. Overall, I would give this episode a 9 out of 10. Please let me know if you enjoyed this week's episode in the comments below. Please like and subscribe and see you next time.